Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a twin pregnancy update, and I'm going to be covering weeks 29 and 30 because I'm currently 31 weeks pregnant, and it seems like that's a really high number. I feel like I'm starting to get to a place where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen like really soon. The first thing I want to chat about is Braxton Hicks. So I mentioned in my last video that I never had those with Connor, and so I started to experience them about, I guess, like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and it's a new sensation. Like I said, I've never really experienced them. I asked you guys if you thought that that's what I was having, and you guys were like, yep, that's what it sounds like. And I was fine with that, you know, because it's normal. I always hear about girls having them. I just, again, never experienced them myself, but I started to have them pretty intensely about a week ago, and to be honest, it kind of freaked me out a little bit, enough to like bring it up to my doctor. It was the day, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I posted about like a week ago or a little bit more that our AC compressor, like our AC wasn't working, and like that was the day that I started to have like really intense contractions. And it's just because I don't know if it was, I don't know, I think because I probably freaked out a little bit. and I think some of you guys can relate if you know, if you live in Houston or you live in Texas or kind of like these southern states, like how hot it can get, especially in the summertime. The day that our AC went out, it was like 93 degrees outside, 95 degrees. And you know what it's like if you turn off your AC for like an hour. Like, I mean, you just start sweating. It's just, it gets so hot here. And our AC started to, there was some kind of little, something happened apparently, and it stopped working. The compressor did. And so I kind of had a little meltdown because I was so hot, very pregnant, very uncomfortable. And so we left the house, and we went to get a window unit, because I was like, I have to, either that or we get a hotel for the night, because I can't, you know, sleep like this. It was horrible. Like, it was 95 degrees inside of our house. It was just, anyway. And so of course, along with that, with the AC unit that we got, we went and got some Mexican food, trying to like calm me down. And whenever we were at the Mexican restaurant, I started having these really intense, I guess, Braxton Hicks, you know, or contractions. And it was just kind of like one after another. And that's when I started to really, I was like kind of squirming in my chair, and like I was sitting in like a really uncomfortable chair to begin with, and I just was starting to get really nervous. And I think what had happened was that I was really dehydrated. I was kind of worked up about the AC not working, and I think it was just kind of a lot of things happening at once, and it was contributing to me having these contractions. Sorry, that's thunder if that you hear like a weird noise in the background. But anyway, we came home. The compressor had kicked back on, the house had cooled down, I had calmed down, I drank some water, and I was fine. Well, I mentioned it to my doctor, and she said that if I was having more than 3 per hour, I needed to call the office, which I was kind of surprised by that. I was like, really? I was like, gosh, because the other night I had like 20, like back to back. And she's like, yeah, I don't want you to have that many, you know, because you're having multiples and, you know, all these things. And so that kind of scared me, but I've been better about resting and trying to stay hydrated. I started to have some a couple of days later that were like back to back. And so I called like the after hours line and talked to a doctor, and she said, just go lay down, drink some water, and if they don't kind of go away on their own, then you need to come in. But as soon as I did that, they went away. And honestly, since then, I've just been better about, like I said, staying hydrated and resting and not moving around too much, because I just don't want to induce anything. The next thing I want to chat about is my specialist appointment. I'm at a place in my pregnancy where I'm going every single week now to that appointment, and then I'm going to see my regular OBGYN who's actually going to be doing the delivery. I see her every 2 weeks, and then I start seeing her every week, I think after 34 weeks, 33 weeks, 34, I'm not sure. They tell me whatever I'm there. But I was at my specialist today, and I had a fine appointment, but I didn't have, like, it wasn't like as wonderful as they have been lately. So they started the ultrasound, and we're looking at the twins, and they said the fluids look good, that they, you know, they checked the brain blood that's pumping in the brain. They check the hearts, they check the kidneys, they check the stomachs, the bladders, like everything. Well, I started to notice that the tech kept going back to this one spot that she was looking at, and the twins are starting to get so big now that it's kind of hard to see what they're looking at, because it's just a big like blob of like all these babies like squished together, so it's kind of hard to see exactly what they're seeing. And so I was trying to, at first, like I didn't really notice until I realized that she hadn't said anything in a while. She was spending a lot of time on this one spot, and so I finally started to like say, oh, is that baby A, or you know, is that who you're looking at now? And kind of like, wait, what are you checking out now? And her answers were just kind of short, and she just, so immediately I started being like, oh no, like, are you seeing something? Like, what's going on? And so she said that she was like, oh, I'm just gonna take a look at the kidneys again. And I'm like, the kidneys, okay. And she, you know, was kind of being mum about it. She didn't want to say too much, obviously, so I knew that she saw something and didn't want to say anything. So she wrapped up the ultrasound and left, and then of course came back with the doctor, which has been like the new routine. But then the doctor started putting on a glove, and she's like, okay, well, I just want to take a peek at something real quick. And I was just like, oh no, like, come on, like, tell me, you know, like, you know, of course all those, you know, mom, you know, freak out mode that I started to go in. And she said, we're just gonna take a peek at the kidneys and just make sure everything looks good. So she was looking at the kidneys, and she finally started to like share information with me. So she said that the tech could see some fluid behind the kidneys, or kidney. I'm not sure now exactly if it was one kidney or both kidneys. She said, but it looks like there's some fluid built up behind the kidney, and you know, so we're just wanting to dig into that a little bit deeper. So they spent a really long time, probably like half an hour, trying to look at it was baby A, which is Jackson, his kidney a little bit deeper. And I was having to like move in all sorts of funny like positions so that they could like try to get a better angle. And they were just very, very detailed about it. And finally, you know, the doctor said like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this to my other doctor and have her look at it, and you know, we'll kind of come back and tell you what's up. It turns out that they think it's nothing. She was saying that the way Jackson was positioned in me, she said that they think that what they were seeing was actually fluid that's in the bowel, and apparently that's very normal to have fluid in there. And that it wasn't actually the kidney. She said it just kind of looked like it, maybe like they're overlapping. She goes, well, we'll double check again next week. So of course I asked, I said, well, but if there is fluid on his kidney or behind it or whatever, kind of like, what does that mean? And she made it sound like it was nothing. She said that it basically is just something, it like could increase infection. Basically after the baby is born, I guess they would do like a little procedure to take the fluid out or something like that. But she didn't sound super concerned. Up there, I was just like really achy, because I'm also getting to a place in my pregnancy where it's not so easy for me to like get up and down and lay down and move around and stuff. And so I was just like really cramping up. And I appreciate the fact that I get to go to do these appointments so much. I even Googled it, of course, and Google was saying it was probably nothing, and now I'm rambling. But anyway, that's what they said. And so hopefully next week they can look again and they won't see anything, and all will be well. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my belly shot, and I'm gonna wrap up the video. Okay, so here I am at 31 weeks, and I feel like, I thought at this point like I would start getting like longer, but I feel like I'm getting like a little bit wider. Like I just feel like, everything's getting bigger at this point. It's not really popping out, it's just kind of popping out. So anyway, so here I am at 31 weeks. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.